How cute. Thank you so much, Jamal. Now on to a health alert. You first saw this pop up in your Action 2 News app. 9 cases of measles are confirmed in northeast Wisconsin, according to the Department of Health Services. Oh, excuse me. It's the first case of the virus in Wisconsin this year. One of those cases was confirmed via testing at the Wisconsin State Laboratory of Hygiene, and the other 8 are based on exposure and symptoms. Officials say that all cases were exposed to a common source during a out-of-state travel, and the DHS is working to identify and notify people who may have been exposed to the virus. Health officials have not found any public exposure points and say overall risk is low. Measles is a highly contagious disease that can spread through the air. Experts say about 90% of people around an infected person may also get the virus. This comes as vaccine rates for kids in the U.S. dropped and the amount of kids exempt from vaccines hit an all-time high. About 4.1%, or around 164,000 kids in the country, are exempt from vaccines, the majority avoiding those shots for non-medical reasons. Health officials say it's the country's worst year for measles in more than 3 decades, with more than 1,300 cases so far.